Guys, I've absolutely had it with this market. This market is literally just driving me insane. I'm tired of tech and growth just beaten into the dirt, and now it feels like we're just getting beat into Middle Earth now. And our we've had our rips and we've had our good days, but I can tell you one thing, our bad days have been worse than our good days because it's just like it feels like a hangover that you've had for like multiple weeks, and it's just like I just every single time I look at my tech part of my portfolio, it's just like like why? But let me know what you guys are feeling. Are you guys feeling the same similar pain to me? Just drop a comment down below. But we're gonna be talking about Palantir today because Palantir did make some moves today, and there are definitely some things going on with Palantir that I think are going to be good for it moving forward into the future. We're going to cover Palantir on the daily, weekly, and monthly timeframes. We'll cover that in Webull. Referral link down below. You do get 2 free stocks when you join Webull, valued anywhere between $8 and $1,600. You get 1 free stock when your account is approved, and then you get another free stock when you deposit $100 on the platform. It's minimum 8% return on your investment, and you can just pull the money out completely free, no problems whatsoever. So why not give it a try? Essentially have a free lunch for the day. Yeah, you'd have a free lunch for the day. But we'll cover Ortex also because there's a couple news bits that have come out about Palantir. There's also just track the insider selling. Was there any insider selling done? There was an institution that bought in the Palantir actually on the 30th of April, which was really interesting. So that's definitely something that will be good for the stock moving forward. But overall, I think with Palantir, we're just seeing this like market just continue to beat us into the dirt because of all these high growth and tech stocks. So I think once this market decides that we're going to rotate from recovery plays and back into tech and growth because it's so gosh darn cheap, I think we're going to see Palantir rip. Keep in mind, I'm not invested in Palantir for the short term. I'm invested in for the long term. I'm looking at the 5-10 year range on this. I would say 1 year at the absolute minimum, in my personal opinion. So I am definitely holding Palantir for the long term because this company, once it's understood by Wall Street, it's just going to go through the moon. But if you can, before we dive into technical charts and all that kind of stuff, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, and remember, may the 4th be with you. So, covering in Ortex, the huge thing I want to cover here on Ortex is the Palantir news. So Palantir's platform was selected to support the Air Force initiatives, which is good. Now, the huge thing that I want to highlight about Palantir is their revenue segments is really broken up into 2 parts. 56% of it comes from government, and then 44% of it comes from commercial, which is good. But the huge thing is right now we're hearing a lot more about Palantir working for the government versus working for commercial companies. But I think once they can get their marketing material understood by the general public and Wall Street understands it, I think they'll be able to make a lot more advances into the commercial world. But the other huge news thing to highlight, and I'm using CNBC for this, so pardon me, but Palantir hires former IBM Watson health exec as its first US government chief medical officer. So the huge thing is IBM Watson, essentially, it is similar to what Palantir does, but Watson can give like analytics out to like such a further point, and they're really focusing this on the next, essentially investing tech for the next pandemic and trying to understand the theses and the probabilities that we could see like certain diseases become the next pandemic, because we want to prepare for that because we were essentially blindsided by COVID, and we don't want to be blindsided by that again. So this was definitely a very, very good hire for Palantir. Overall, I'm still remaining very bullish on Palantir. We do have 2 analysts that rated at a buy, 4 at a hold, and a 3 at a sell. There's the price target of $25.25. Also keep in mind, Goldman Sachs does have a price target of $35. Now, the huge thing that I just want to take a look at was there any insider trading done since the 21st? No, there was none. So that's good. That's the one thing that Palantir definitely suffers from is the insiders, the corporate execs, CFOs, chiefs, officers, and all that kind of stuff seem to be trading with inside the company, which is definitely a red flag for a lot of people. But let's go ahead and hop over to the chart and cover Palantir on the chart. So the huge thing is we broke through our critical support, I'm going to say, at 2280, because really we've been bouncing off of 2280 a lot lately. So for the intraday, we did seem to find support here at the very end of the day. We found it here around 2025, which is good. We haven't fallen all the way down to $21 yet, but we're definitely headed in that direction, and we're definitely looking very bearish. Overall for the stock, we did trade below the VWAP, which again stands for the volume weighted average price. So you likely bought a share of Palantir today. You did not make money off of that share. So it wasn't a good day for the overall market too. I believe, if I'm correct, if we look up QQQ, yeah, QQQ even finished down. So that's a huge thing. So QQQ is essentially the tech part of NASDAQ. So that's really the tech ETF to take a look at. So you can most of the times take a look at this and take a look at most tech stocks, and you can see a similar correlation between the relation between the two. So let's go ahead and hop out here to the 5-day time frame, just take a little bit more at macro point of view. So as I was saying, that 2280 channel, we broke down through it. Friday and Thursday, we were trading above it, which was good. But we're, again, on the 5-day, 5-minute, trading below our 200 moving average and our 60-day moving average too, which is not really good for the stock. But I'm going to hop out here to the month point of view so we can really just take a firm look at the stock. The huge thing is you can see this 2280 channel, the 2350, we traded in it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times in the past month. So we definitely really like this channel, and we haven't been below it much. So could we be seeing a repeat of what we saw back here after double click of us selling off down here to $21? Because this chart does look eerily familiar from back end with double click. So there is definitely a possibility, and I'm not going to rule this out, that we are going to see Palantir touch 20 in the $21 range. And personally, and this is my opinion, keep in mind I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. This is just purely my opinion. But if Palantir dips below $22, it is a just slam dunk buy for me. It is an absolute slam dunk buy, because Palantir long term is going to be stupid crazy. It's going to be worth way more than $21. So just keep in mind, that's my personal opinion. That's my personal price target that I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is a heavy buy kind of thing. So also taking a look at the RSI, we're sitting here at 35 on the RSI. We do have a bearish confirmation here on the MACD, so keep that in mind too. So we are definitely headed in bearish territory. Looking at the chart, because stocks do like to make patterns, really, this looks eerily similar to like back here. We essentially sold off in the morning and then did some consolidation into the close, and then we sold off again. So keep in mind, tech and growth have been really just hit hard with this market right now. Like anything with high valuations, which Palantir falls underneath, is going to suffer really right now because of that. So really right now we're seeing the small, like better PE ratioed stocks. So like your Southwest or like your Bank of Americas, or like these kinds of stocks are normally doing better than what tech and growth are. So just keep that in mind. But we will definitely get out of this. I personally think if this continues, it'll just provide us a great buying opportunity. And when inflation goes away, we'll see the perfect ramp back up and rally within tech and growth. I would think anywhere between like August timeframe, if not later in the year or beginning of next year. It depends on how long inflation sticks around. If inflation continues to stick around, we're going to continue to get beat down, because tech and growth plus inflation, it's just like an inverse. Inflation goes up, tech and growth goes down kind of thing. Like, got to keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and hop out here to the day chart and really just take a look at the stock. We're going to use the year to date. So the huge thing is we definitely have been doing some consolidation since we hit our all-time high beginning of this year, and we are making lower lows, which is something that is not good for the stock overall. But we do have our 60-day moving average hooking down. We do have our 15 moving average staying about flat, and we have our 200 moving average here. Now, if we do have the 60-day moving average cross over the 15-day moving average, that's going to be a very bearish indicator for the stock. So we don't want that to happen. The huge thing that I'm seeing here is we're starting to kind of have these patterns of, okay, we have a nice rip and then we fall down, and we have a rip and then we fall down. So it's just, it's seeing where the stock can really become comfortable. The huge thing though that I want to highlight is we're definitely getting to the point where we're getting higher lows, because back here on March 5th, we had a low of 2018, and none of these lows have touched anywhere near that point. They're also lower than our lows we saw here on the 19th, 20th, and 21st. So keep in mind, as long as we're making higher lows, we are consolidating in an upward direction. May it be in a very slightly upward direction? Yes, but we are still consolidating, which is good. The RSI is sitting here at 42. We still have a bullish confirmation here on the MACD, which is good on the day scale. However, we're getting really close to overlapping back over. So we definitely need a green day to just bring those two back apart a little bit so we can remain in bullish territory. If we do cross over, we're going to see a very bearish stock. So just keep that in mind. But overall for tomorrow, if we have the market seems to open up and seems to have a nice rally, and then it falls off kind of thing. So keep that in mind. We have a nice rally in the morning. We normally have a dip and then we fall off kind of thing. That's what I've seen a lot with the market lately. So in the morning, if we see Palantir jump up to, let's say 2280, that's awesome. Let's see if we can keep 2280. 2280 is like the point in my head that I always look at Palantir and I'm like, is it below or above 2280? Because that's almost like where I'm saying like, all right, well, this is a buy point. Like, do we nibble on it right above 2280 and then down below 2280? Do I buy it? Yes, I do. Definitely do. But the huge thing is 2280, can we regain that as our support? Because currently right now it's acting as resistance, and it's going to be a very strong resistance for the stock to get through. So keep that in mind. If we do break it the first time and then we break back through it, I wouldn't be shocked, because most of the times we do cut above and then we cut back below, and then we have to have some form of retest. And that retest normally will get rejected. And then the second time through, we'll be successful in claiming as support. We may not be successful in the second time. It may take 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 times to get above that 2280 point, but that definitely is a good point to get above. Personally, in my opinion, I'm hoping that we have a green day tomorrow, because the market was pretty just, it felt like it was sick today. Like it just didn't know what to do. And like it was like, okay, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Like, and then like 10:30 rolled around and it was just like, ugh, and just everything just started vomiting in a downward direction. Tesla, like Neo, like GameStop, the like Arc, Naked, Sens, Clove, like all of these stocks just started just going down kind of thing. So we definitely saw the market not happy with it. But overall prediction, the points that I'm going to be looking at really tomorrow is 2280. We can claim 2280 as a support. Awesome. The next thing I want to be looking at is 2350, because we definitely have this as a level of resistance, and it is going to be a strong one because we've tried to break it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and essentially the past month kind of thing. So keep that in mind. That is definitely going to be a very strong resistance for us going through. The supports that I'm going to be looking at I'm going to be looking at 2225, because we have touched it here. We touched it here today, and then we did touch it here back on the 22nd, and then here on the 31st of March. So that's really where I'm going to be looking at. We did also get rejected off of it here on the 30th too. So I'm really going to be looking at these time frames for the stock, because not these time frames, these price marks for the stock, because if we fall below 22.25, I think honestly we're going to fall all the way down to like 21.25, and we're going to definitely see a bounce off of it. We could see a bounce off of 21 like 50-ish. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that bounce there, because we do have this line here. Let me drop it here. We do have a bounce off here. So once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, roughly 5. So we definitely have 2150 is definitely a support for us. So it would be The downside would be 22.25 if we break through that support. Next thing I'm gonna be looking at is 21.50. It sounds really far away, but you got to keep in mind this stock really has only been going for, what is it, a little bit over, not even a year. So, but keep in mind, to the downside 22.25, then 21.50. To the upside 22.80 and 23.50. But if you guys have any questions, concerns, or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment down below. I do my best to read every single one of my comments to respond to you guys, because after all, the whole reason why I'm here and made it this far is because of you guys, and thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.